Definitely still below normal, but you're right. Yesterday we hit those highs in the mid 70s. Today we did reach those lower 80s. And that warming trend, basically, it started off this afternoon. But this morning, it was the coolest going back to March. In Fort Myers, coolest since March 21st. Naples, that 58-degree morning low, also the coolest since March 21st. And for our friends in Punta Gorda, it was the coolest since March 22nd. That was really our last big cool snap here across Southwest Florida. Do keep in mind the average low for this time of year, around 69 degrees. So as we look at that almanac for today, officially coming in for Fort Myers, well below average, of course, by about 13 degrees this morning, and those highs still running about 5 degrees below normal as well. Typically, we should be hitting highs in the mid 80s, and it does look like we'll start to trend more toward those mid 80s looking ahead to tomorrow. But for those of you heading out right now, upper 70s and lower 80s, and boy, is it picture perfect. Live look from the Tarpon Lodge right now as we look live across the Pine Island Sound. And you know it's going to be beautiful because we don't have much in the way of cloud cover out there. So if you are heading out, you'll feel that nice, comfortable air, not dealing with a muggy factor right now with those lower dew points still in place. And we have dry air not just at the surface, but also aloft. It's our water vapor imagery, and this really shows just how abundantly dry that air is upstairs. So this measures the amount of moisture in the mid and upper levels, really gives meteorologists a good perspective of where our weather is coming from and where we could potentially see some energy. Well, in this case, you can't really do much with that kind of dry air aloft. It also means we're not seeing much in the way of rainfall. Basically, this last cold front this past weekend, that was the start of our dry season. We always see a strong cold front that basically kicks the rainy season out, and almost climatologically right on time. That is indeed what we are transitioning into. The problem, though, is that we're heading into dry season well below average rainfall wise. We're in deficit here in Naples by over 25 inches. Marco's down by about 20.5 inches. Fort Myers in deficit by around a foot going back to January 1st. Punta Gorda is still down by around 7 inches or so. And up in Sarasota, we are in deficit by around 21 inches. So notice those drought conditions, especially along the coast, will continue and likely worsen before they get better. Even as we track our next cold front, showers, storms associated with it few and far between. Rain probabilities late Friday, early Saturday, running at just 10%. So the question is, when could we see maybe some extra moisture building in? We look ahead to the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. Basically, what we could see this time next week and beyond. Wrapping up October, heading into the start of November, and it does look like we could be transitioning into a slightly wetter weather pattern that, of course, would help that rainfall deficit. Also, it does look like we'll be trending a bit warmer to wrap up the month of October as well. Looking ahead to the near future, though, the next 24 to 48 hours, not as chilly tomorrow morning. We have that cold front coming through this weekend without much fanfare. And then also we are monitoring Tropical Storm Tammy, which thankfully will not pose a threat to Florida. All of the latest on that system coming up for you here in the next half hour. So overnight tonight, tomorrow morning, we'll start off around 63 degrees. So 60s instead of those 50s. Clear skies for the morning. Lots of sunshine for the afternoon as those highs return to the mid 80s. Low to mid 80s expected heading into the weekend. Even with that cold front coming through, not much in the way of a change. Breezy conditions expected next Tuesday and Wednesday.